Well, let's see what we can do with horse stuff. Could work. Alright, Calvin, have a good one. It's going to be another like 6 hours before this thing looks anywhere near good. So, check back in later, and we'll probably have something that looks cooler then. We're just relaxing. We're going to just slowly get this working properly. Oh yeah, let's make sure we've got the right materials on these things. We need our mass split sprite. Yeah, it does really need to be smashed down like that. That's what it looks like. Did this one not get? Yeah, these things didn't all get it. I guess they need to be even further separated. Alright, that's looking pretty good. I mean, by pretty good, I mean pretty awful, but like, we're getting to where we want to be. And if you saw the start of making the other scene, you know what I'm talking about. We just like slapped rocks in a semicircle, and we're like, that looks okay. And then we just turned the lights off, and it looked fine. Alright, so that's starting to look a little bit more like what we want. An actual like tree line or whatever, right? Looks like we still got some gaps right there and there and there. And that one looks fine. We're just looking for gaps that would go way into the background, so we kind of like these things under here we don't really care about. We can deal with that. So where is it? Like right. Okay, that's looking fine. Okay, so now we know basically how big we want this to be. I think we can just let's see if we can delete all that stuff over there. Yeah, alright. Can we delete this stuff? We're just trying to clean up some basic crap around the edges. That area there looks a little bit funky. Too many things got put right on top of each other. Alright, I think we got our basic background going on there. So next thing to look at now that we have the extents for our terrain and how big it's going to be, we can actually throw down our landscape. Now the question is, can we rotate this? And if we rotate it, is it going to screw everything up? I want to know. Well, it doesn't look like it's doing too much to mess it up, so it should be fine. Alright, so we're going to need a bigger height map than this. We're going to need at least another 20 or so %. So let's do our 12 by 12, which we had, which I thought might be a little too big, but it's not actually the case. And let's see, we probably don't need that sort of resolution. Maybe the scale can go up. Alright, so the foreground's fine. Background is not. How do we undo, like, what's the control to kind of do the opposite operation? Shift? Yeah, shift is it. There we go. That looks wrong, doesn't it? It looks like it's in the wrong spot. Well, maybe. I guess not. We're looking down, so that's what's going to go on. I need a higher section back here. Yeah, so we're just sculpting this terrain slowly. I'm not talking too much because, I don't know. I'm just learning as I go. I wish the sculpt tool actually had like this size relative to the size of the brush relative to the scale of the object or something like that. And it's not relative. Yeah, it doesn't take into account like smooth frame rate and stuff like that. It's a real pain in the ass. Blaming tools, but really this is just I don't like dealing with height maps because of the imprecision with messing with stuff. Usually I know exactly what I want to do. It's just like, let me do that thing. I want to select all these verts and move them. Like, I don't want to work in artist tools. I want engineering tools. I'm an engineer. No, it's the other thing is I wrote like a height map editor in college for all this stuff. I'm like, I want those damn things. Because I could select stuff using like frustums and all sorts of crazy things. And I knew all the little operations. Still can't get it. Still can't get it. What the hell? Like, this area here is just doesn't want to fucking cooperate. It's inconsistent with how it applies the height, which is just not fun. Like it has this exponential like application of the height, and I want it to be linear. Like it applies more height or whatever based on how long you hold down the button, but it applies more and more height based on how long you hold it down. And I just can't seem to level these fucking trees with the ground. It's just like, come on, like, allow me to select and then just allow me to level. So we'll try a different approach. It's the same problem in games like, I think some of the more recent Roller Coaster Tycoon type games have height map stuff where you can edit stuff in your park, and it's always the same. Just like you see any streamers playing it, they're like spending like 2 million hours, and eventually they're just like, ah, fuck it, this is good enough. It's really funny. It doesn't mean I can't bitch at it or about it, and I will continue to do so. Oh, they got a mirror tool. Nice. Alright, finally. That's what I'm looking for. Alright, so what we need to do now that we've got kind of our terrain is we need to figure out a good way for us to kind of create a sloping area. Well, that didn't work at all. It's like less is a lot more with this sort of landscape. Even that tiny little change right there. Massive difference. That's crazy. Alright, that's not bad. Alright, so let's see, what should we do next? Well, I think the next thing is some type of grass or some sort of just base material on the ground. I mean, why do we have these lines here going out? Like, we don't need those lines. Why are they in the material? Oh, actually, we need to reorganize a few of these things. I'm gonna make some folders. Let's make our mountains. Let's make our forests. Let's make our terrain. Throw everything in the right place. It's a lot of shrubs. It's a lot of shrubs. Alright, we'll throw that in there. Oh, use more? They're shadow artifacts? I'll try rebuilding them. So right now what we're trying to do, Easmore, if you haven't been watching, we are attempting to recreate this piece of concept art that Adam put together for us quite a while ago. We're trying to kind of figure out what elements in the scene that we're going to be needing to replicate. And we broke it down by line items, a whole bunch of stuff, and we're slowly trying to kind of figure out how we do it. So it's an exploration process at the moment, and there's no correct answer for something. There are plenty of wrong answers for things, though. There's always that. Let me see. Just because people might be interested in this. That's the wrong button. That's the right button. If you would like to snag this picture, it's right there. Anyway, I need to refill my water bottle real quick, so I'll be right back. Alright, so welcome to the world of white. Bitey can crawl at an extremely fast rate. And I'm just going to throw a little cube here so I know where Bitey spawns at. Alright, let's definitely save this. And we will see. And just looking at some messages. Alright. So, what do we want next? If we're trying to mimic this thing, what are we needing? I mean, I guess grass would be the next sort of thing. Kind of avoiding that. So, I mean, we could attempt to use Unreal's sculpting and grass texture stuff. Isn't it water? You might need some water? There's no water in this picture. This is all just flowing hills at night. So let's see. Oh, that shadow right behind him? I think that's just because of this. Oh, the shadow here. Yeah, that's because it's on grass and he's got the shadow kind of as a grass shadow thing in there. So Adam said he had a few things in the meshes folder. I'm guessing it's like materials. Or maybe he threw them in Perforce in the last. I'll just look at the history real quick. Alright, new grass and foliage, which is inside of content geometry meshes. Alright, so it's in geometry meshes. And this was like GeoGL blade. These blade, spindly. Wow, this is having a little bit of trouble opening in the editor. I'm trying to think. Like, I don't know if this sort of grass is going to give us the effect that we want. Like, looking at this grass, it just looks like they're 2D, just sheets, just one sheet of grass, and that's it. Like, it doesn't look like, you know, if we had multiple sheets of grass, like this thing is made with, you know, this basically, you know, 1, 2, 3 double-sided planes. And that effect is going to give us like a whole bunch of grass all over the place, and that might be wrong. Like we might need, you know, just a flat chunk thing. The Grasslands test map has things that look a little bit better. Like, we'll take a look at it. Let's see what we got. The new Grasslands, I'm guessing. Yeah, kind of the same thing. It looks more realistic than I think that we probably want, or at least to match this picture. I think you would need 2D planes going as opposed to the 6, because this definitely looks lush, but it doesn't really match. It's too real in my eye, my non-artist eyes, my special eyes that are untrained and ill-advised. How come I can't change this? Nice. It's not letting me change the damn sun height. What? No, it's just not letting me edit it. Just restart the editor. If it's not being cooperative, restarting half the time fixes the problem. Well, I didn't save that forest sprite. So try reloading that and see if the asset fixes itself in the editor there when you reload it. I just don't think we'll be able to achieve the effect that you got in the concept with the grass with a circular grass pattern. Just don't think it's gonna do it. I don't think it's gonna do it. So let's see if these assets we can actually fix. Yeah, we can go ahead and fix these just by clicking on these and then picking the source sprite, which should be this guy. Alright, so that should fix my not saving all that crap and screwing up the map. And I'll take another stab at this level. Let's see if there's anything there that I can mess with. Yeah, it's definitely not how I was using the Sky Sphere stuff. Like these sun heights and these overrides, I think something weird's going on with the settings with this. Because normally, like in the other map, I can just pop it open, and if I go to the Sky Sphere, I can just change the sun height right here. And that's all you have to do, is you just change it like that, and it changes the time of day. Just like that. So if you want to, how do you actually change this stuff, Adam? You were saying you rotate the light position. I mean, which light? The light source? Or something else, like the skylight? All right, so you're not using the time of day in the blueprint. You're using a different light entirely. Is there any reason for that? I'm having the light stuff on the other. If you just use the blueprint itself, then it's more clear to me what time of day it is and where the light is. Because I don't see a light vector coming off of this guy. Where's shadow go? There's an arrow on the light widget. That is one tiny arrow.